dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will. Some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land since time immemorial. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We are standing on the ancestral lands of the Dakota people. We want to acknowledge the Ojibwe, the Ho-Chunk, and the other nations of people who also called this place home. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the treaties made by the tribal nations that entitle non-Native people to live and work on traditional Native lands. Consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion on the agenda of October 7th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing no discussion, roll call, please.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran, Zhang, and Jebensing are excused, and Ortega.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion on the minutes of September 23rd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing no discussion, roll call.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran, Zhang, and Jebensing are excused. Ortega.
Aye. Commissioner McMurtry, proclamation. Employment Awareness Month.
Yes, and I want to invite any guests, employees that want to come up as well to commemorate this month. Feel free to make your way to the dais. So today today is dedicated to honor the invaluable skills, perspectives, and talents of people with disabilities in Ramsey County. Contributions that not only strengthen workplaces, but also enrich communities, spark innovation, and build stronger teams. This proclamation recognizes October as National Disability Employment Awareness Month, a time to celebrate the dedication and leadership of people with disabilities and to recognize the vital role they play in creating workplaces and communities that are inclusive, dynamic, and thriving. Inclusive workplaces matter. They ensure that every employee can share their gifts, contribute their unique strengths, and fully participate in shaping the success of Ramsey County. Ramsey County is committed to continue removing barriers, providing accommodations, and fostering belonging so that all employees have dignity, independence, and meaningful opportunity. Finally, the Board of Commissioners stand with employers across Ramsey County to express gratitude for the outstanding service, creativity, and leadership that people with disabilities bring to government, business, education, and every sector of our community. And so I am excited to present this proclamation. I'll read the proclamation, and then if anyone wants to come up to give remarks, feel free. But whereas people with disabilities in Ramsey County bring invaluable skills, perspectives, and talents that strengthen workplaces, enrich communities, spark innovation, strengthen morale, and whereas National Disability Employment Awareness Month honors the achievements, dedication, and leadership of people with disabilities and recognizes the vital role they play in creating workplaces and communities that are inclusive, dynamic, and thriving. And whereas inclusive workplaces and equitable opportunities ensure that all employees can share their gifts, contribute their unique strengths, make a meaningful impact, and fully participate in shaping the success of Ramsey County. And whereas every employee contributes perspectives, creativity, and leadership that foster collaboration, drive progress, and enhance the social, cultural, and economic vitality of the community. And whereas supporting employees by removing barriers, providing accommodations, and fostering belonging ensures dignity, independence, and meaningful opportunity for all. And whereas recognizing and celebrating the talents, accomplishments, and contributions of employees affirms Ramsey County's commitment to inclusion, equity, and building a stronger, connected, and thriving community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners declares October 2025 as National Disability Employment Awareness Month in Ramsey County. And be it further proclaimed, the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners joins with employers throughout the county who recognize the contributions of people with disabilities and thank them for their outstanding service to government, business, academics, and many other agencies and organizations.
It's a real honor to be part of the Disability Awareness Month for people with disabilities down at Ramsey County. I'm glad to be part of it. So thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure how I got pushed to the front, but Mr. Chair, Commissioners, County Manager Becker, and Chief Clerk Yang. I also want to thank y'all for recognizing employees with disabilities. 10 years ago, I would not have stood in front of people and admitted that I had a disability, and now I proudly do. And I appreciate what Commissioner McMurtry said. We are valuable. We bring lots of assets. Social Service Director Thompson once asked me what I meant when I said I'm neurodivergent. And I explained to her that Director Thompson is left-handed. And I said, if you try to cut paper with scissors made for right-handed people, the paper won't cut. To me, that's how I feel in the world a lot. And so I appreciate people who are appreciative of my superpowers. And I wore this shirt today. I did not wear the one that said Neurospicy, because I thought I caused y'all enough trouble. So thank you.
Camera, do we have anybody?
Commissioners, all, thank you very much for this opportunity to have the proclamation and to speak publicly about the importance of employees who have disabilities. I have one button left, and for those of you in the crowd that it's the Minnesota Nice thing did not take the last one, I have more where these came from. I'm the ADA program administrator here at Ramsey County, and I'm very honored and happy to celebrate this month, not just this month, but every day. So thank you.
Thank you. We now have a County Achievement Award. Who do we have coming up? Commissioner Miller.
I would like to invite Tobias Linham up here and any of his guests he has with him. Am I saying your last name right? Tobias Lyam. Great. Well, Tobias Lyam is a financial specialist in financial services, has been approved by the Ramsey County Achievement Award Selection Committee for Employee Achievement Award in the category of Excellent Job Performance. The Ramsey County Financial Assistance Service administers programs that provide economic supports to single adults and families by helping meet basic needs. The department determines initial and ongoing eligibility for economic assistance program, including cash assistance, food support, medical assistance, child care, and emergency assistance. I hereby congratulate you and present you with this well-deserved award. There you go. And now I will have Financial Assistant Supervisor Terry Barrows talk about the work being done by Tobias.
Hi, my name is Terry Barrows. I am actually Toby's manager now, but I have been his supervisor in the past. So I'd like to say a few things. Toby goes above and beyond in his work, supporting the Financial Assistance Services training team and new employees joining the county as financial workers. This is not part of his regular job. That is above and beyond for him. His ability to share information related to complex workflows in a way that's easy to understand is a huge benefit to his team, and it's made a lasting impact on staff. Toby is known to be dependable and passionate about supporting both residents and colleagues. His positivity is infectious, and he's always willing to step up and help out. That is so true. He is viewed as a key resource and someone who is extremely knowledgeable, and his positive mindset boosts morale. By allowing new financial workers to observe his style, new employees are able to understand their jobs more quickly. Even though he is always busy, he still carves out time for new trainees to shadow and observe his casework so they can learn and better serve residents. Thank you, Toby.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. I'm truly honored to receive this award today. I appreciate the recognition and also want to acknowledge my coworkers who provide much of the needed services that Ramsey County residents. I'd like to thank the who nominated me, as well as the committee members who are involved in the award process. I'd like to thank my teammates, Beth, Ur, Hallie, and Michelle, supervisors Peggy and Kathy, and managers Bridget and Terry. I'd also like to thank the numerous community agencies that I work with almost daily to help those Ramsey County residents assist in completing their applications. This award would not be possible without their support and collaboration. In my 35 plus years with the county, I've enjoyed providing our residents with the best possible customer service through guidance, understanding, and compassion. With your support, I believe we can continue to provide the same excellent public service to all of our Ramsey County residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Tobias, for your service. Today, more than ever, your position is critical as we need to make sure people get enrolled in a quick manner. So thank you for your work. Could we take? Commissioner McGuire.
And if we could have David Triplett come up and whoever and others who are here with David. Thank you. Come. Great, yes. We have the very important election services and property tax records and election services team members and others. Thanks for being here. It is truly an honor to be able to present these employee achievement awards. We have so many employees that do such great work, and it's great to honor a few of them today. And it's my pleasure to honor David Triplett, who's the Deputy Director of Property Tax Records and Election Services. He has been approved by the committee, the Ramsey County Achievement Award Selection Committee, for this Employee Achievement Award in the category of Excellent Job Performance. So this department oversees the services of property ownership records and oversees collection, balancing, and settlement of all money collected by the county. The department also administers state and county elections and performs election duties for several cities and school districts. And I just want to say that I've had the pleasure to work with David as he gives presentations throughout the community about elections. You know, we all get asked to, talk about how we administer elections, which we do for all of our cities because we do such a good job. Thank you very much. We do such a good job that all of our cities have asked that we provide the election services for them. And David's always ready, and others from the department are always ready to give community presentations on elections and how we're doing. And I just couldn't be more grateful for that time that they give to our community members and to all of us. And of course, overseeing elections, which is just such a major function of what counties do and such a crucial part of our democracy. So I just want to thank everyone here for all of their work. So David, I hereby congratulate you and present you with this certificate. So thank you very much for all your work, everybody. Thank you. And now Tracy West, Director of Property Tax Records and Election Services, will lift up other work done by David.
Thank you, Commissioner McGuire. Chair, Commissioners, my name is Tracy West. I'm Director of Property Tax Records, Election Services, and County Auditor. So David is a dedicated employee with a reputation for outstanding work. Over the last few years, he's risen from being known as the elections guy to becoming Deputy Director of Property Tax Records and Election Services. David has also taken on additional responsibilities, leading not only elections, but taxpayer services, vital records, recording, and examiner of titles. Throughout his time in elections, he has done many board workshops, elections 101 presentations to community groups, city administrators, and staff. David has earned a reputation as an outstanding employee and a very humble leader. In his time with the county, he's known for his calm, thoughtful planning in times of crisis. During the COVID-19 pandemic, David worked to protect his employees and residents. He made sure employees could schedule time off to reduce stress and avoid burnout. He also reinvented the elections process, prioritizing social distancing, keeping voters warm in tents, and safely directing traffic. So recently, he has led us through many unanticipated special elections without skipping a beat. David, thank you for your leadership, your commitment to your team, the county, and our residents. Thank you.
Chair Ortega, Commissioners. Commissioner McGuire is right, I do speak a lot, and this might be the first time I'm a little nervous. So I do appreciate the recognition, and I'm glad everyone's here because I really don't deserve the recognition. All these folks do. I'd like to thank the residents of Ramsey County for the trust they've given me for doing this. I meet with a lot of residents in this field, and I really appreciate the trust they have in us to conduct their elections and now obviously collect their property taxes too. I'd like to thank my staff and coworkers. Some of these folks I've worked with for over 20 years. And so I didn't think I'd be here when I started as an intern in '03, but it's been a great career to be born and raised in Ramsey County and now serve the residents and call this a career has been very rewarding. And I couldn't have done it without all the people here. I want to thank Karen Francois. She believed in me 6 years ago and she gave me an opportunity. And it's been incredibly rewarding. I very much appreciate the confidence she had in me. And then I want to thank the commissioners. When elections kind of got in the national spotlight 4 years ago, people said, wow, that must be very difficult. And it is. But the reality is we have 7 really supportive commissioners, past commissioners, current commissioners, and that makes a big difference in the work we do day to day, to have your support, your guidance, your feedback. And I know we've got new commissioners, and I haven't met with all you, but there'll be stuff that will come up. So as long as we have elections, you'll be talking to this crew. So again, I appreciate the recognition and having my career here. So thank you.
Let me just say, you said 20 years. I remember when you first came on, and I would have, I would have sworn it was like maybe 8 years ago. But congratulations, David's been filling very big shoes. Your predecessor was a national figure in elections, and you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Lizzie, I tracked down your name, Lizzie.
I think we got it though. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to make a bigger deal about it than it is. It's just one step in the process. You can hold. Yeah, and Terry can talk about rescue conferences. Josh or Terry.
Yep, I'm just gonna.
And then and then Garrett can have some questions about the process, and I can do that. Okay. Yeah. Do we post? I think not. Just we can keep it straight.
Yeah, okay.
And we went down to snacks, so.
But in the future, we have to show.
I don't know.
Well, it looks like the entire social work department. Tracy Jones, a social worker in the Social Services Department, has been approved by the Ramsey County Achievement Award Selection Committee for an Employee Achievement Award in the category of Excellent Job Performance. The Ramsey County Social Services Department provides critical social services support, including child protection, licensing, foster care, pre-petition screening for civil commitment, and mental health. Social Services is responsible for helping individuals, families, and communities in Ramsey County survive and thrive. I hereby congratulate you and present you with this well-deserved award. I will have, how do you pronounce your name? Maina? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, County Manager, and Chief Clerk. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about a supervisor that I respect so much, because she has built a strong team that cares about community, and they've shown up in a big way in the community. She represents the values of Ramsey County in a very significant way, and I'll give examples. She has built a strong team that volunteers during weekends and other times because they know that their role is to serve the community. Tracy has been asked to represent Mothers First program, the work that they do on a national level. We have so many states who are present, and they wanted to learn from what that happens in Mothers First program. Tracy has built her team in a way that it can support mothers. We used to serve mothers who had a 1-year-old and under, but Tracy came to me and said, Maina, we need to expand this. We need to look at mothers who are 3-year-old and under that we can serve so that we can build on that. And we have expanded that. She cares about that. There was a birthday for Tracy, and people asked her, what do you want for us to bring to you? And Tracy said, bring diapers so that we can give them to the community. And through that program, more than 70,000 diapers were distributed to the community. And that program is ongoing. She has offered opportunity for our team to train in ways that they can support mothers. Rural program, CPR, all those things that matter. And to highlight on that, 4 of the participants of Mothers First program, they got certified as peer recovery specialists to support and to serve other mothers. So Tracy's work speaks volume internally, externally, and on national level. Congratulations, Stacey.
Thanks to my team, the commissioners, the award committee, Black Excellence, and my family for being here. Over 50 years ago, my father became the first staff of color at Woodview Correctional, which is now the Juvenile Detention Center. My mother, who has also dedicated herself to public service, worked for St. Paul Schools. Growing up, I witnessed their hard work, their deep passion for what they did, and their commitment to helping people with absolutely no judgment. Their legacy is with me and my children and my grandchildren always. In November, I will celebrate 30 years of service with the county, serving in roles from corrections to my current position as the program supervisor at Mothers First. This award came from the staff I work with every day. It's not for me alone. This is for my team, who's here with me today, and it's for my father, who rests in heaven but is absolutely here in spirit. I'm grateful for the opportunities my team and I have been given to serve this community. We have been presented with so many ways to support our families, from hosting a community baby shower and a family day event to organizing a diaper drive, even being recognized at a Minnesota Twins game for our nurturing efforts. We are small yet mighty. We are creative in our service delivery, active in our community efforts, and take immense pride in partnering with our families to help them gain stability in all aspects of their lives. Receiving this award honor, and it's a powerful reminder that our values, the same values that I learned from my parents decades ago, are alive and active in our work today. It fuels our commitment to ensuring that every family has basic needs and access to services. We will keep leading with passion. Thank you.
I think we have a young man that wants to say something.
And then you have to hold your awards for the photo. And 3, 2, 1.
You didn't show us you have 16 seconds. This isn't the fight part. This isn't Woodbury. That's Kate. He's okay. I mean, they should.
Commissioner McGuire, administrative.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move the following administrative items. Item number 7, the agreement with Inbuilt LLC for Guaranteed Energy Saving Project. Item number 8, project budget and financing plan for East Kellogg Building Furniture and Fixture Disposition Project. Item number 9, sole source agreement with Corvell Healthcare Corporation. I'd like to pull item 10 and item 11. I move item 11, settlement agreement in Deshaun Tucker versus Dwight Fonte Smith, acting in his individual and official capacities, and Ramsey County et al. Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran, Zhang, and Jebin Sings are excused. Ortega.
Aye.
And then, Mr. Chair, I'd like to move item number 10, bonding project prioritization.
Second.
Discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to pull this just so that we could acknowledge these projects, and to talk a little bit about the process that we need to go through for bonding requests, and to acknowledge that we have other, priorities. We have a lot of priorities in our county that we're really working on, and I'm going to ask Josh from our EGCI department to come and talk, our director there, to talk about some of another project that we have. We are approving the park at River's Edge and Aldridge Arena in this resolution, but we also we have another priority project, which is Rice Creek Commons, which we have funding for in other areas, and so we don't need to get bonding requests for this. And so I'm going to ask Josh to talk a little bit about that, but it's certainly a priority for all of us. I just wanted to make sure it was on the record that we continue to have other projects, but we needed to put these two forward because the Office of Management and Budget at the state needs to know what our priorities are for them to get it in their process. And so these are our top two projects at the state level for Minnesota Management and Budget to get into their process for the governor's request. And I know we can talk more about how this process goes, but we have a legislative team that really approves these things, and this will be brought, we'll have further discussions in our legislative workshop, but time-wise, we needed to get this bonding request because the deadline for MMB is coming up. And so we're having a workshop in a few weeks to formalize all of this, but we just needed to get these two projects in the works as far as our bonding projects go. But I'm grateful that Josh is here to just talk a little bit about our absolute priority with Rice Creek Commons. We are moving forward in that in really exciting ways, and we are still absolutely dedicated to that development with Arden Hills, and I was just at the Joint Development Authority meeting last night with Commissioner Jevon Singh, and we're just excited about the sustainability measures that are moving forward and all of the work that we're doing with the Rice Creek Commons Road. I think we used to call it the Spine Road. But we got a road proposals going in, so it's moving forward. And so we're very committed to that project, and we're also committed to the two that we have before us in this resolution. But if you could just give us a little bit of update on what's how we're doing with our.
Let me just add something that, quite frankly, Rice Creek Commons, by the fact that we put it into our transportation plan and we are funding it, quite frankly, tells a story. The odds are in these days of tough economic times, that success at the legislature on any of this is very small. And Rice Creek Commons is so important because it does increase our tax base. That's why I led the charge to purchase it and clean up the largest Superfund site in the state, which was in Ramsey County, was so we could increase our tax base. And we're in the process of moving forward, and the county is taking it on and said, we are going to build that infrastructure, especially the Spine Road, to make development happen. So that's a better deal than being on the list. Go ahead, Josh.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I kind of feel like I don't have much more to contribute to because of what Commissioner Ortega and Commissioner McGuire said. But, you know, I would just say, the decision to not have this as on the list was intentional, in part because while it remains a primary and frankly a top priority for us, as a county and as you know, as a project team, you know, funding for the Spine Road, now Mounds View Boulevard, Rice Creek Boulevard. Sorry,
I know.
We'll get there. I will get there.
It's a new name.
You know, represents it does represent a sizable you know, barrier to development, but yet I'm here with, you know, good news to say to you all that, you know, through vetting of the transportation sales tax dollars, that we feel confident that we can move forward, we can invest in that core infrastructure of that important development project, you know, for it to be transformational, but also expedite that vision, you know, now, rather than waiting for yet another decision by another entity. So.
I have Commissioner McMurtry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you walk me through the process and reasoning behind these two projects? And specifically, were there additional projects that were under consideration as you all were thinking of which ones to bring forward, and how did you land on these two?
Yeah, I can take that, Mr. Chair, Commissioner McMurtry. So part of the decision around, as Commissioner McGuire said, this is a part of a sort of a concurrent moving process of what the state needs while we are working through our platform with all of you. These two projects were actually momentum projects from the previous year. They're actually, from what I understand from government relations, they're actually still live in a bill as we speak. And so we didn't want to lose that momentum around these two projects. I will say that historically, we've had maybe sometimes 4 to 5 to 6 projects on a list. We'll continue to have conversations about that, but I do think a better strategy as we've been moving forward is to be more focused around our ask and having just 1 or 2 projects. As Commissioner Ortega said, it's not like we're going to get 6, 7 projects funded anyway, and so to be able to really hone in on our message and to be able to get the partners and the support while recognizing certain criteria. You know, we've been really trying to align, obviously, with our strategic priorities, whether it has previous momentum, whether there's already legislative buy-in and support. That's a really key one too. Both these projects have chief authors and a lot of legislative interest. And then also that they have a clear vision. I will say that when I first became county manager, there were several projects on the list that were probably more in an early thinking stage, and then we're already trying to decide how we're going to manage resources to really talk about something that we don't really have our good handle on ourselves as to what we are really trying to create. And so I think trying to be really focused and then aligning our energies and commissioner and legislative support and partner support really just helps us be more successful at the legislature. So I look forward to, again, we're in the middle of in flight around the legislative strategy, so more will be happening, and there will be a chance for you to talk bonding as part of that platform in addition to the other legislative items.
Yeah, and just to say again, the reason that we have this before us is because the state Office of Management and Budget needs to get our priorities, and otherwise this would come through with our legislative package, which we will be doing in November, December. So we just realized that we needed to get our bonding projects to the Office of Management and Budget for them to get into their proposal process so that the governor could hopefully recommend them. And that's why we're just seeing these two projects right now, and we'll see the rest of our legislative package. And we can talk about other bonding proposals, and we can certainly advocate for others, although we do want to be really focused. These do have momentum, as County Manager Becker said, and in the past, these were perceived to be the ones that we had the best chance with. If we have any other proposals, we definitely can talk about those, and we will do that at the workshop. But these are our priorities that we've been working on for the past few years. So, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Seeing no further need for discussion, roll call, please.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran, Zhang, and Jebin Sings are excused. Ortega.
Aye. We now have a presentation.
I have to go.
Huh? Oh.
No. Oh, it's presentation first, sorry. I thought I always went after. Never mind. I'm off.
It's okay.
Early, not enough coffee.
Who's
I think Jessica Mumford, and are you doing that today, Jessica? And I didn't know if Kristen was joining you. All right. Okay, Jessica.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Thank you for your time today. My name is Jessica Mumford. I currently serve as the Leaves and Accommodations Manager with Human Resources. I have been digging into Minnesota paid leave for over 2 years now, and I'm really excited to bring this information to you today. So you can see my slides, yeah? Okay, perfect, thank you. So the purpose of today's presentation is to provide an overview of the new Minnesota paid leave law, highlight what it means for us as an organization, and to review the requirements of how we can come into compliance, plus preview our recommendation and next steps. So Minnesota paid leave at a glance. The law goes into effect January 1st, 2026. It's a social insurance program, a lot like unemployment insurance. It provides partial wage replacement when an employee cannot work due to qualifying medical and family reasons, up to 12 weeks for medical reasons, up to 12 weeks for family reasons, or a combined 20 weeks. The program covers all workers in the state, with eligibility tied to the individual's collective work history in Minnesota, rather than tied to the individual's history with one particular employer. This means that a brand new employee may be eligible for up to 20 weeks of paid leave. Virtually all public and private employers in Minnesota must participate in this mandated program. By default, all employers participate in the state program unless approved to opt out and provide an equivalent plan. The deadline for employers to request to opt out is November 10th, which is fast approaching. This new state mandated program is a big lift, and it will need to coordinate this new benefit with our existing leave programs, such as FMLA and sick leave, in addition to employee benefits like disability insurance. We're also going to need to consider the administrative work required to lift this up, ensuring contributions are collected, employees understand their rights, and claims are coordinated smoothly.
Excuse me, what's partial, go back,
Mike, can you show the presentation again? Thank you.
partial wage replacement? What does partial mean?
That is a great question, and the state will tell you it's complicated. So according to how it's written now, there is, it's a partial income replacement based off of your earnings as an employee, well, as a worker in the state of Minnesota over the past 12 months, and your average weekly wage is calculated and then placed on a tiered program. So workers who earn less annually will receive the greatest amount of wage replacement, up to 90% of wages. Workers who earn higher wages in Minnesota will receive a lower income replacement, close to 50%, 55% of their earnings, up to a state average weekly wage. And it's super complicated. The state created a super nifty calculator where we can try to go in and calculate what everybody's anticipated benefit would be, and it really does vary. But there is a maximum state average weekly wage, and that's the maximum benefit that any one individual in Minnesota can receive. Does that help?
Yep. That
I
makes
was
sense.
like, it's complicated, and the state would say the same.
Partial can mean anything, so it doesn't mean anything when it means everything.
Yes, it ranges between 55 and 90% of wages.
I got it, thank you.
Thank you. As you can see, I get really excited about this. I dream about Minnesota paid leave, so happy to bring it to you today.
I'm glad you get excited about this.
Okay, so how do we meet these requirements? Our options for compliance. Our first path is the state plan administered by the state. It's a one-size-fits-all approach. It's administratively simple and ensures consistency across all Minnesota employers. There's no vendor to manage, as the state manages all claims and benefits with that one-size-fits-all model. But the trade-off is less flexibility and the likeliness that the contribution rates will increase dramatically going into 2027. Alternatively, we recommend going with a private plan purchased through an approved insurance carrier like MetLife. This path provides more control and flexibility, meaning a more customized experience. We expect the employee experience to be easier, faster, and more responsive under a private plan, reducing inefficiencies for both employee and employer. In addition, we'll have direct access to our employee data so we can better support our employees and build upon well-being initiatives while holding the vendor to a high account to meet our strategic priorities. The cost is secured with a 2-year rate guarantee and provides enhanced services. So MetLife has a nationwide experience in the entire paid leave landscape. Every state that has paid leave programs, MetLife operates there. So we would have that history and that trusted experience. Which will potentially deliver a faster and more streamlined claims experience for our employees.
Excuse me. Maybe I should let you finish. Go ahead.
Okay. And then also we'll have a customized approach to leave management that aligns with our existing leave policies and coordinates with improved short and long-term disability, delivering a streamlined and user-friendly experience for employees. And also, when employees have questions about paid leave, they can actually call us and we can answer and speak to that, rather than potentially getting lost in a backlog with the state.
So when you're talking about options for compliance, you mean Ramsey County, Inc., correct?
Yes.
And these two plans are it's an either or?
It's an either or for implementation.
And does each individual have a choice?
Individuals don't. Employers do.
Employers do. So we have to decide?
We have to decide. And so next week, I'll bring to you I'll have an RBA for next week to request authority to move forward.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's a big thing, so I appreciate these questions. Let's take a deep look at the cost savings here. So this illustrates the difference in cost between the state plan and MetLife for 2026. MetLife, as you see, offers a competitive rate with that 2-year rate guarantee. Now, right away with the cost savings, you're not seeing a huge difference, but with all the other points I just mentioned, as far as tailored support, improved employee experience, a quicker turnaround time for employees to have access to benefits when they're so that they can focus on the thing that's going on in their life, this offers an overall better employee experience at a lower cost. Now, every analysis of the paid leave program for the state of Minnesota does project that it's underfunded. So in 2027, we anticipate that they will increase the rates. If the state increases the rate to the maximum, which is 1.1%, this is a projection of what it would look like for Ramsey County cost-wise. This is based off of current salary data, but you can imagine with 2027 salary data what we'd be looking at. Now, this is where that cost savings under the 2-year rate guarantee with MetLife provides a really staggering difference. Collectively, over 26 and 27, it would provide over $1.3 million in savings.
Excuse me, Commissioner Miller?
I have a question. Thank you for laying this out. I see that MetLife, and I see that we'll be locked in for a 2-year price guarantee. Do we know what the price would be after that? Because if you're estimating in 2027 the state to max out at 1.1% and there's only 2 markets we can purchase from, it gives them the opportunity to also jump their rates up.
You are absolutely right. So this is something that we've paid attention to as well. This lower rate of the 0.79 is a teaser rate. It's because it's a new program for all of Minnesota. They're looking to attract those Minnesota employers to get into that lower rate. What we're looking at, though, long term, is trying to figure out the best approach for us. We do intend to. The reason we're looking at our 2-year rate guarantee also is because there's only a few players in the market right now with it being new. Starting in 2026, we anticipate many more carriers to participate and offer competitive plans. But we want to use an analysis based off of what utilization looks like for us in 2026. Is it a good move to go with a private plan going into 2028? Is it better to design our own plan and be self-insured and provide our own benefit? So we're going to use the data from what we see from an employee experience to determine what's the best route, both financially and experience-wise.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
To follow up on Commissioner Miller's question, will the state's rates also fluctuate, or is it fixed?
That is a great question. The state rate can fluctuate, but within parameters. So the rate that they've set for 2026 is 0.88, which is this one. And then in 2027, the rate may fluctuate up to a maximum. The state has adjusted that maximum to 1.1. So the state rate under the current law cannot exceed 1.1. But
1.1%.
1.1%, yes. And in addition to that, I should say, we don't know if in 2027 it will go up, but with all of the uncertainty that's around in every single aspect of everything, we anticipate that the rate will increase up to the maximum. So even if it doesn't, even if the state rate, let's say they'd say we're going to go to 0.9, it's still higher than what we could secure for that 2-year rate guarantee.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much, Jessica. You have worked really hard over the last couple of years, and a lot of it has been a lot of learning while our hands are tied because the state's been still sorting out all its details. But I will say one of the things that didn't get in the slide, but I think is really important for you to know is that Jessica spent a lot of time with statewide partners, with AMC, with other groups about what their options are. I've had extensive conversations with our metro county administrators as well, and I would say I think it's safe to say, I know Patience was at a CHRO conference this last week too and sent me some data, but there is a strong lean to using a private, not going with the state for the counties right now, just really wanting the state to figure out their things before we get sort of tangled up with them. I do also want to say there is the 3 options, and we only really looked at these 2 right now because the third one is that self-administered, and having this kind of bridge 2 years will help us maybe better able to understand the complexities and to see if we can move toward the self-administered in 28. So I do feel like this is a good in-between where we're not necessarily reliant on the state trying to figure all this out right now and hold a little bit of our own destiny with a proven a vendor who has done this in lots of places and has a lot of other counties working with them now, and then sort of, a learning period. So I thought I'd just mention the part about the ecosystem scan, because I know you've done a lot of work talking with all the different cities and counties in the state.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we are in the midst of the budget process. Have we budgeted for one plan over the other?
We've budgeted a flexible amount that would allow for either one of these.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying most of the metro area counties are going with private?
Yes.
And they base that on the fact that the state is still in...
I think that, and also the state has to opt you out of their plan. And there's a little bit of some sentiment that once you opt in, they might need us in their plan and not want us to opt out. So we want to have all our flexibility as possible as they sort of sort out their next steps.
Yeah, that was my next question. What happens if the state doesn't get enough folks buying into, this is all about actuarial, right? To make the plan work without dipping into the taxpayers.
Correct. So the way that the plan is set up in Minnesota is that every employer that participates, which is everyone except for federal employers, tribal nations, it's even small businesses do participate in this plan. Everyone is automatically enrolled in the state plan and participates. You must, as an employer, request to opt out, and that's the application due November 10th.
Yeah,
if we submit that application, then we'd be approved to opt out because we're going with an approved carrier. Excuse me. We're going with an approved carrier.
No, go ahead.
And so what that looks like then is, with that, we can have the new plan in effect January 1, 2026, and we go through those 2 years. I do understand this. And this is actually something that we've talked about a lot, both internally and with our partners in other jurisdictions, is it better to participate in this greater good by all of us participating in this plan? But we also have to understand that we're an organization with employees and we have a commitment to our taxpayer dollars. And with that significant savings of $1.3 million over 2 years, it really feels like the most responsible decision for us as an organization.
So the fear is that if you go with the state, you won't be able to opt out.
I don't know.
We know that we would be able to opt out, and there's still the application process. We just feel that it would become more difficult and there'd be more obstacles down the road.
If we were to go with the state and opt out, could we opt in 2 years later?
Yes, yes. Okay. So where the state doesn't want any one employer just kind of leapfrogging through different programs, but they do want that if you are going to go through a private plan or you're self-insuring, you stick with it, but can always change. But a change can't just happen in the middle of the day, and it requires a lot of pre-planning and application. There's also safeguards built into the law that if any one employer were to select a plan that doesn't work out, they can immediately go back into the state, and it requires a transition plan. So there's coverage for those employees.
So if we were to go with a private plan, when our other insurance is up, could we package those together?
Can you say it again?
So right now we have Blue Shield, Blue Cross for health insurance. They're not in the market on this, are they?
Not currently.
Not currently. But if they were, or even MetLife, who is, when our contracts are up, could we package all of it together to get a better rate across the board?
Certainly, yes. So that's actually a really good point, is that carriers that offer paid family medical leave in Minnesota and other states do not sell that product as a standalone product. It bundles with the other services. So for our purposes, it includes short-term and long-term disability insurance, since those work in tandem for one employee experience. other insurance carriers like Blue Cross Blue Shield or others, if they join the market and offer a paid family leave product, then yes, we'd have the opportunity for it to bundle. In addition, it would, like, we can have it where we're aligning the end of contracts for health coverage with the ending of coverage of contracts, for paid leave and other products, to figure out a best approach to bundle them. So that's definitely an option in the future. And like I was saying, like, regardless of the decision we go in the future, we want to make sure it's based off of data and the actual employee experience that our particular employees have with their health, with their life experiences, and what's going on for them, so we can choose the best product.
To that point, what does that process look like as we, if we go with MetLife and roll out this for our employees? How are we gathering that feedback, their input? What does that look like?
That is such a great question, and that's something that I just started a new leave team centralized in HR to deliver on this, on paid leave, regardless of how we choose to implement. But part of that is benchmarking and making sure that we're looking at how is the actual user experience playing out. My team is developing a user or a leave survey also to capture employees' experiences, specifically like when they go out on leave and then when they return, to ensure that it's a nice experience. We'll also have data, if we go through MetLife, we'll be able to use their portal, which does offer the data of what is an employee going out on leave, what is it for, what's the average time spent, how much time did it take for that employee to submit the application? With your recent leave experience, and congratulations, there's a lot of unknowns, and you want to focus not on, like, what is my checklist of things I need to do? I want to focus on the amazing thing happening in my life. And so that's what we're really focusing on for our employees as well, is how can we take away that administrative burden for them and for us, but that administrative burden for them so they can focus on that important thing in their life and focus here. So we're going to be utilizing the data that we receive through, if we go with MetLife, through their portal, and then we're also going to partner that with some more qualitative data based off of what an employee experience is.
No, I appreciate that. And did you mention before that for other states that have implemented paid family leave that they utilize MetLife in those states as well?
Yes.
Have we gathered any data on what those states, what their experience were with MetLife?
That's a great question. So yes, and so in partnering with the other, so I've started a monthly and now biweekly meeting with other counties and cities in the area of Minnesota, and part of that project has been where we're reaching out to friends who work in other areas of the country to see, like, what has that experience been like. So far, everything we've received has been very positive. Any of the concerns that those other employers have had have been just like, hey, I wish I would have said up front that I wanted this kind of data right away. And it's things that help us to pre-plan so we can ask for that and meet on the front end rather than trying to catch up. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, before we go to the last couple slides, I just want to pull the themes here of other things we need to work on. So, now that we have our CHRO here, I just want to make sure, I'm hearing 3 levels here around our benefits. I think we do need to bring back a workshop to the board next year early around our strategic thinking around all the insurance, like all the dates and kind of how we're thinking about bundling and being more of a strategic buyer of those services as we go forward. And then I think the other, I think Commissioner McMurtry, where you were getting at is, I know I talked to the CHRO about the employee survey and really thinking about like the total rewards kind of package, which is all under there. And then also, Jessica, I think what you're speaking about is the user experience. So I think there's several layers of kind of HR functional work. There's kind of a broader employee engagement effort as we think about and then the strategic work, because if you've been watching the news, we were fortunate enough around our health insurance to be locked in on a rate for 2026, but honestly, the pressure is very real around the increasing cost of health insurance, and we're going to have to tackle that as well, so in the very, very near future. So hopefully that kind of captured a little bit what I was sensing you were kind of talking about, Commissioner, but thank you.
So when you come back to us, you're going to give us a comparative analysis between the state, private, and self-insured. Is that correct?
So we've already done that analysis between state, private, and self-insured, and we've decided.
Have that been presented to us?
Mr. Chair, so this has not, the way I understand from our legal counsel that, and you could request it differently, but we are under a little bit of a time frame. We've been working as a functional team, and so we're at the point where I felt like I could make some of the decisions as to leaning toward the MetLife recommendation and bringing you an RBA next week so we can hit the deadline. If you feel like you need an in-between, we can figure out timing, but we are kind of butting up against the deadline to be able to, and a lot of this was, we would have wanted to do maybe a workshop ahead of this, but the state did not release some of their requirements and things until very late. We ended up not doing a solicitation, but entering into a cooperative solicitation that the state has so that we could even use MetLife. So we were able to cut time in the process. So the goal was today to just provide an informational session and then actually bring the RBA next week to opt out of the state, and also then to enter into agreement with MetLife. I will say the metro counties, I'll say, I know Hennepin did it. You might be able to name the others, Dakota, others that, have moved forward with this. If you feel like you need more of a slight pause, we can do that.
So when is the deadline?
November 10th is the deadline to have a contract in hand to submit
We
to
have
the
to get
state
the
and
contract
request
done.
application for opting out.
Okay, and for how, so then that's really what we should be discussing today, because there is no coming back.
Yeah.
And so where is the, with MetLife, for example, what are the terms? Is it a year, 2 years, 3 years?
It would be a 2-year rate, so the 2-year negotiated rate guarantee is part of that solicitation through Sourcewell, so it's a cooperative solicitation. That is what Hennepin has utilized to secure that 2-year rate. And they're doing a lot of the same things that we're doing, is we're trying to figure out in the long term, does it make sense to go with a private carrier? Does it make sense to develop our own benefit that we self-insure and self-administer?
So there are metro counties that have already
Yes,
decided
yes.
to go with MetLife.
Yes.
Statewide too.
And their terms are going to be very similar. What are their terms, 2 years?
2 years.
So everybody basically has the same plan
Yes.
with the same terms, like 2 years. And what is the rate again? Is that what you showed us before?
Yes.
Okay.
It's that 0.79 rate
0.79 for
rate
2
guarantee.
years. Okay.
Mhm.
I just want to clarify that this is not coming back. Okay.
Thank you. So just to conclude with our recommendation is we do recommend moving forward with a private plan through MetLife for all the reasons we just did, including that 2-year rate guarantee, providing a savings of more than $1.3 million over the next 2 years, 26 and 27. We're also looking at, this is something that other jurisdictions at the county level and the city level are moving to across the state. County Manager, as you mentioned, that our CHRO was recently at a conference where a survey was just, hey, where are you going? Are you going with a state plan or are you going with a private plan? And overwhelmingly, there was from local governments a participation in a private plan. And then the survey asked further, who are you going with of the private plan options? And MetLife was the number one option for a lot of people in that room. And it's because of that competitive rate. As you pointed out, though, that rate is a teaser rate. It is a low rate. We understand that. We know that long term, that's not a rate that is likely to stick around. But if we capitalize on it now, we'll have that cost savings and allow us time to really dig into that utilization data. What does it actually look like on the ground for our employees?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and so I want to just show a quick timeline here of what's next with this. So the next week, I will be back to you with an RBA to request authority for County Manager Becker to move forward with a contract to secure that MetLife agreement for paid family medical leave. And that leads us into the contract finalization, where if we work incredibly aggressively, we can get that done to meet the November 10th deadline. This is the absolute last day that employers in Minnesota can submit to the state a full policy, a full insurance policy to opt out of the state program. If we don't have it on November 10th, then we are going with the state plan starting January 1st. So that's the urgency. If we submit, I want to admit that if we did submit an application on November 11th and they approved it, it would just wait to start until Q2 of 26. So there'd be a whole pivot. How do we implement with a state plan for a quarter, and then with a private plan after that? So after we opt out of the state plan, we can start all of the detailed work for implementation. So this includes building new processes, systems integration and testing, employee policy modernization, supervisor manager training, employee training, all of those pieces. Implementation also means developing a strong relationship with the vendor for an integrated and supportive employee experience. HR will return to the board again in December for additional board action to approve updates to the employee benefits policies to ensure that everything we have coordinates with all employee benefit plans and paid family medical leave. The next major deadline we have is December 1st to have everything communicated to employees. So this includes a mandatory employee notice about paid family medical leave. It'll include Ramsey County processes and procedures and just instruction of how employees can access this benefit. So very tight timeline, and all of this needs to happen and be perfect by January 1st, 2026 when we go live, and you know it will be perfect. So, but it's a lot to happen, and you know, partnering with MetLife gives us that opportunity to really hit the ground running in a short period of time by bringing forward their experience from other states so that we can implement a program that's going to deliver a solid employee experience. And that's genuinely like where that focus is how do we deliver something great to employees who need it while also being responsive to the cost savings and looking at how do we implement something that's going to, we've got confidence in that will work right away. So thank you, and I'm happy to take any more questions that you have.
Are there any other questions? You're a good salesperson.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, County Connections.
All right, I have a few things, Mr. Chair. First is I'm pleased to announce that Ramsey County updated website is now live. It's ramseycountymn.gov. Moving to this new platform ensures a stable, modern experience for more than 7 million visitors who visit our websites annually. I want to congratulate the entire web team for their dedication and outstanding hard work. That was a huge project and lift. Special thank you goes to our communications and public relations team, especially communications manager Megan Fournier for exceptional leadership throughout the project. I also want to recognize Information Services for their outstanding support. Really a lot of one Ramsey County effort here. The new site features a .gov domain reserved exclusively for government entities and required for those administering early voting, along with easy-to-use embedded language translation tool, an improved search bar, and streamlined navigation menu, making it simpler and more accessible. So this is a major milestone. The web team will now turn their focus on replatforming the employee intranet to enhance communication within the county. So congrats to everyone for all their hard work, and I just hopefully you got a chance to take a look. I do want to turn something to a little more serious. I do want to thank our public health team who've been tracking a measles outbreak currently happening in the metro area. So there have been a total of 13 confirmed cases among residents in Dakota, Hennepin, Washington, and Ramsey County. Only one confirmed case is in Ramsey. The Department of Health has reached out to us to inform Ramsey County residents who may have been exposed to any positive cases. In response, our staff is contacting these residents, conducting interviews, providing guidance on precautions. At this time, we are managing the situation within the operational framework of our current public health department. Nothing unusual is happening. In terms of another topic of interest is the federal shutdown. So I just wanted to give a little update on that. We are hearing directly from federal partners several things. Staff at federal agencies may be unavailable to provide assistance, review requests, and issue new awards at this time. Some payment systems are generally remain operational for drawdowns, but drawdowns are subject to limited controls or special approval that may not be processed during the shutdown. Grant applications are generally not impacted at this time, as we know. From our state partners, we're hearing that they're not generally impacted either, but they're monitoring the federal developments very closely, and certainly those will intensify as the duration continues. I believe the federal workers are going to miss their first paychecks here this Friday, is the way I understood it. So the WIC and Commodity Supplemental Food Program is impacted by the shutdown, but fortunately the Department of Health has alternative funding that can support those programs on an interim basis for a few weeks. So we are watching that WIC program. It's not, the funding isn't necessarily in jeopardy from the feds, it's just those funds are not flowing the same way, so the state has some kind of workaround, but we are watching that. And then in terms of the county, we're going to be working closely with our FRAT team to think about how we pivot from our original stance of really responding to all the federal executive orders and the different things that were happening earlier this year and monitoring our federal grant revenues to sort of how we pivot to also responding to this federal shutdown, as it seems to be the right place with the right departments and folks to be able to coalesce around that disruption. And so right now, all the departments are being asked to funnel all the information that they're getting from their state and federal agencies to one common mailbox, very similar to how we've been dealing with the federal executive orders. We don't have any immediate disruptions currently being reported, but we do have information on our public website that just tells people that, you know, Ramsey County is open, business as usual at this time, despite the shutdown. Yeah.
When do we expect any disruptions?
I would assume that as it lingers here and people have to manage more of the federal staff not showing up for work potentially, we will see a little more of a disruption. I will continue to work with our government relations team and see if we can get some federal updates from our lobbyists to hear, you know, if we anticipate any additional things. But right now it seems like the state's been able to draw down funds from the feds and it's only been a few days. So I think it depends on how long it lasts. I did hear last night there's an airport that had no FAA people in California. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll be starting to feel it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Questions?
All right, I will be kind of quick. So my update, let's start with 929. We had the tribal flag installation at the Landmark Center. So I had the honor of speaking on behalf of the board. The 11 tribal nation flags will be displayed at the Ramsey County Juvenile and Family Justice Center. I just want to say that this installation marks an important step toward deeper collaboration between county and tribal courts, particularly in areas of child protection, where honoring the Indian Child Welfare Act and Minnesota Indian Family Preservation Act is really essential into building, supporting our Native communities and families. I attended the WIB on last week. So we met to review financials, upcoming legislative priorities and plans for the 2026-2027 budget. The Minneapolis Regional Chamber shared an update with the Skills-Based Hiring Accelerator, and that's an effort to promote hiring based on skills rather than degrees. The Workforce Solutions team also outlined a department reorganization that would go effective January 2026 when the budget's approved, to improve grant alignment and service delivery. I also have some numbers. So Career Force in St. Paul remains still one of the busiest sites in the state, delivering more than 2,700 job seekers, or serving more than 2,700 job seekers since March. I also want to note that they are expecting numbers for Q3 to outpace both the Q1 and Q2, and what they're seeing is the computers are the busiest in the state at our metro squares, computer usage, and people are really looking for job search. That's what the highest number is. And just want to add to that, I mean, if we're seeing job seekers and we're very busy here, just computer users and job seekers, that kind of gives us an idea of what unemployment's going to start to look like once the numbers roll out. Upcoming events for the WIB, so there's a Career Connect Day on October 14th and Manufacturing Month activities throughout October. The next WIB is on December 4th, and that will be held at the Minnesota Humanities Center. We also just wrapped up our round 3, was it a round of advisory board interviews. A lot of that was for the watershed districts, so that was really great. So thank you to all those who applied and to continue to serve on these boards. I also attended the American Indian Family Center's Fall Feast on Friday. I was able to present LaVon Lee with a proclamation honoring her work that she's done throughout Native community and helping us, so that was fabulous. I quickly want to just mention an upcoming event that I will invite all to, as I'll be attending the Indigenous Peoples Day event on Monday, October 13th, next Monday. There's a full day of events planning at the American Indian Magnet School, starting at 11 a.m. and ending at 2 p.m. They'll have some food, and then there'll be a powwow at the Minneapolis American Indian Center. So if you have time, swing on by. It's a great time. With that, meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. Garrison?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A busy last couple of weeks. Just want to highlight a few things. On the 24th, I had a chance to join the Hamlin Midway Coalition and do a North Snelling walk tour. It was myself, and was happy to see some representatives from our Public Works team as well. Although Snelling is a state road, it was good just for us to go and to hear directly from neighbors and from businesses on just the concerns that they have around safety when it comes to that part of Snelling, and ideas on what they would hope to see in the future. I know that 10 years ago there was a plan put in place around what to do to improve that part of Snelling that has not been implemented by MnDOT yet, but I believe there are representatives from MnDOT also a part of this tour, so hopefully there will be more development in the coming years around improving that particular stretch of Snelling. On the 25th, myself and Commissioner Jevin Singh had a chance to go and visit and tour the Detox Withdrawal Center and Mental Health Urgent Care Center, which was another just great opportunity, especially as we look at the budget and the proposal for this particular space, to see up close exactly what is happening in the space and to hear directly from the team on their recommendations and how we're going to continue to commit ourselves to our community. Organization festival, which was great, an amazing chance just to get out in the community, to meet with so many neighbors on the north end, and to have our public works team there as well to talk about the work they're doing specifically along Rice Street, just provide an update to residents who may have any questions around that construction, which is seeing the end of phase 1 coming very, very soon, which I'll have more to share on that at a later date. On the 2nd, myself and Commissioner Zhang had a chance to speak at the McDonough Homes groundbreaking celebration. This celebration was around 7 new units, townhome units, deeply affordable housing units that will be created at McDonough Homes, and another 4 that's going to be created at Dunedin Terrace on the west side. The county contributed $2.6 million towards this particular project, so it was an honor to just be a part of this event and to speak to the work that we're doing to ensure we are creating more deeply affordable housing throughout the county. And then on last Saturday, I had a chance to attend, along with Commissioner Jevin Singh and Commissioner McGuire, the annual Heats On event that was put on by the Steam Fitters, Pipe Fitters Union. A great program where they have pipe fitters volunteer their weekend to go and provide updates and maintenance to HVAC systems for those residents who are lower income or with disabilities or elderly, to ensure that they are safe and secure heading into the winter season. So it was a huge turnout of folks who, like I said, volunteered their Saturday to go and make sure that our residents are being taken care of. And then a few upcoming events, just wanted to flag for folks. Tonight, the Ramsey County Historical Society will be having their Pathways Gala at the CHS Field to help fundraise for Gibbs Farm. On Wednesday, for St. Paul, the district councils will be celebrating 50 years of district councils being existing in St. Paul. And to just celebrate the many years of neighborhood leadership and local impact that these councils have had on our communities. And then on Thursday, United Village, there will be a community meeting with allowing for Midway neighbors to come and discuss the updates from the United Village development that's happening at the corner of Snelling and University with all that developer Bill McGuire is doing there. And lastly, I will highlight this Saturday, Falcon Heights will be having their annual fall festival at the Falcon Heights Elementary School, just fun activities for kids and families to come out. And the St. Paul Fire Department will also be on site for activities for kids as well. So lots happening and lots more to come.
Thank you. Lots happened in the last 2 weeks. I attended the Recycling and Energy Employee Picnic, and it was great to, in essence, reward our employees. They've done a great job over the last few years in a period of great transition. So kudos to them. Then we had an R&E meeting. Commissioner Miller, I think you spoke to that already. I also had a great conversation with seniors at St. Kate's, the Coronet High Senior Living Facility for 1 hour. Seniors are on top of it, had great questions about, what's going on. And impacts with Medicaid, Medicare, health insurance, just the whole works. A lot of good questions. I appreciate them asking me to come and talk to them. The other is I met with the employees at the detox. We had a good conversation for an hour and a half. Met with about 30 employees at the detox center. Good conversation. Clearly, I told them the position the board was in and the issues we have to address, and that it's not over. It's not just this year, but the next couple of years where we're going to have to make some tough decisions. Left there feeling good about everything. Of course, it's a difficult situation. Also, yesterday, I know AMC, the Transportation Committee, Commissioner Moultrie was there in person. I actually zoomed in a little late because I had a family crisis with my mom, and so couldn't make it on time. But it sounds like there was a good conversation. I caught the second half of the meeting, and as we address some of the issues that are happening at statewide regarding transportation and some of the revenue sources. The other thing is, I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm sure you do, is that Chad Roberts, who's the executive director of the Ramsey County Historical Society, will be leaving. He has some family issues that he wants to deal with, and he's done a great job for us. I didn't realize, again, just like before, Chad said I think he's been here 13 years, and I would have, if you asked me, I would have said 5 or 6. But he's done a good job. He's done a great job, and he's a nice guy, and I just want to wish him all the best. I think that'll do it for me. No further.
Yep.
Good. We are adjourned. Thank you.